Welcome to The Rock.
Welcome to a special episode of the G5 Hive. And boy, do we have something exciting for you all today. We have a very special guest joining us. In high school, he was a Shrine Bowl selection who excelled as a defensive back and a quarterback for Watauga High School in Boone, North Carolina. In his senior year on defense, he recorded 53 tackles, 9 pass breakups, and had a fumble recovery as well as a forced fumble. On offense as a senior, he rushed for 2,223 yards, passed for 1,990 yards, and accounted for 49 touchdowns, 36 of which were rushing. He has appeared in 44 games for the Appalachian State Mountaineers, totaling 790 yards rushing, 7 rushing touchdowns, 53 yards receiving, and a receiving touchdown. He had a big game for App State in their Cure Bowl win over Miami of Ohio, where he rushed for a career-high 119 yards, and he helped seal the victory with several big runs late. It is also notable that he did not have a single fumble in that game. For those that don't know, this game was played in a downpour, deluge, if you will, and between those two teams, there were 13 fumbles in the game. He recently won the All for App Award for football. When we interviewed David Ware from App State Mania in 24/7 Sports, he named him as his breakout player on offense for the Mountaineers in 2024. He is 6 foot even, weighs 220 pounds. He wears number 1 for the Appalachian State Mountaineers. He is running back Anderson Castle. Welcome to the show, Anderson.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having me. That intro video got me pumped up a little bit, ready to roll. So
awesome. Yeah, camp starting soon. Some camps have already started, I guess, for teams that play in week 0. So yeah, exciting times. College football is here, man, and I'm definitely pumped and excited for it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, let's kind of go back to, I guess, where football started for you. Who introduced you to the game of football?
It was really my brother. He's 3 years older than me, and he started playing as young as I can remember. We always loved sports growing up. Neither one of our parents was really big into sports, which is interesting. But somehow my brother got into it, and I saw him playing, so that got me into it, and I started playing at a young age. So,
what did you play any other sports when you were growing up?
Yeah, I played baseball and basketball. So played 3 sports all the way throughout high school. Enjoyed all of them here in Boone. It's kind of if you were a good athlete, you were probably playing at least 2 sports. So yeah, I enjoyed playing all 3.
What position did you play in baseball?
I played center field. Yeah.
Nice.
Just hanging out there for sure.
Basketball, I'm assuming you were a guard or?
Yeah, kind of everything. We weren't real big, so sometimes I had to play a little bigger than I should have. But yeah, I was kind of just everywhere in basketball.
Awesome. Coming out of high school, what led you to choose Appalachian State to further your education and football career?
Yeah, so I was not heavily recruited. I was blessed to have offers. I had all FCS offers, and I was kind of having to narrow down my decision. I had been in contact with App still, but it was getting close to signing day and close to me having to make a decision. And then about a week before I was going to have to make that decision, App offered me. Coach Clark was at one of my basketball games on my birthday and offered me. And so whenever I got that, it was that night I gave him a call. I was like, yeah, it's a done deal. That was kind of what I was waiting on. It made it a pretty easy decision for me once that happened.
So, being from Boone, what's it like to get to play at home in front of family and friends and be a hometown hero of sorts?
It's awesome. I mean, I don't take it for granted. Definitely. I mean, I go out there pretty much every day, and I see where I sat in the stands growing up. I pretty much sat in every single section of that stadium probably at some point, and just to remember that feeling as a kid growing up, to remember what it was like to look up to those players, and just how much fun I had being a fan growing up, and to be a part of the team. It's really special. And just knowing the community that I have behind me, it doesn't put added pressure on me. It's more of just added support. And it's awesome to know that I've got that behind me. It's been everything I've hoped for. It's been awesome.
Do you get a lot of the other players kind of coming to you and asking you things about Boone or where to go for this or that?
Yeah, I do. freshman year a lot. I was driving everybody around, but yeah, I still get those questions. Most of the time, I can answer them for them, and then so yeah, it's fun.
What's we were talking before we start recording, and Boone's one of the places that it's kind of on my bucket list of places I want to go to and see a football game. But what's the game day atmosphere like in Boone?
It's it's the best in the Sun Belt for sure. And I mean, I'd put it up there with anyone in the country. I mean, it's just always packed out. Doesn't matter if it's a Thursday night, Tuesday night, obviously a Saturday. Everybody comes out. Everybody, all of Boone and everybody surrounding comes out. It's just it's a special feeling. There's always a different type of vibe on those days, and even leading up to it that week of. So yeah, I mean it adds a huge advantage for us. We've been great at home, and it always it gives you that little extra motivation whenever you're playing at home in front of that crowd.
So the few hours when the game's going on, like I'm imagining, like Boone's just kind of shut down. Everyone's at the game. Is that accurate?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. You don't want to be trying to drive around, trying to go other places on the day of the game. If you're not going to the game, it's kind of hard to get somewhere. So yeah.
So last season you switched from number 44 to number 1. What can you tell us about that switch?
Yeah. So coming in, I was originally supposed to play linebacker, and whenever COVID hit, I moved to running back because we only had a few running backs, and so I was still number 44, and I rocked with it, for a few years. But I just thought it was time to get out of it, get to a lower number, make myself look a little bit faster, kind of get rid of that stereotype of, white running back in number 44. But I wanted to just get to a lower number. I wanted to have number 7, but we had an older guy on the team and special teams conflicts. And so Coach Clark said, you can have number 1. And I was like, sure, I'll take it. I don't want people to think that I picked it to make it look like I think I'm the best or whatnot, but I'm cool with it. I'm staying with number 1. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, I mean, John Riggins was before your time, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was definitely one of the greats that wore number 44.
Yeah, I heard that name a lot for sure.
Last season you missed the early part of the year due to injury. Obviously came on strong there at the end. But what did you guys kind of take away from that experience and not being able to play?
Yeah, I learned a lot. I mean, it's obviously not the way I wanted it to go, but I took advantage of the time that I had off. I mean, or not off. I mean, rehab and all of that. Just tried to be the best teammate that I could. Just all you can really do at that point is just try and provide energy on the sideline, and just be there for your teammates. And so I just tried to do that the best I could. I mean, I'm just so thankful for my teammates and all of the training staff, support staff, just getting me back. They did a great job. Yeah, I mean, it was all in all, I mean, it was unfortunate, but looking back, it was the way it was supposed to be. So here I am. So I'm ready to roll. So.
Well, hopefully it'll be a blessing in that you gain another year of eligibility and you get to do your thing for another year.
Yeah, for sure. It worked out great timing wise, getting that extra year, just in case. So yeah.
So we talked about in the intro about playing in that Cure Bowl game where, I mean, it was just a downpour. I remember watching that game and I was like, man, I feel bad for the fans. I feel bad for the players. Yeah. But what was it like playing in that game and on that field? I mean, there was standing water at times on the field.
Yeah, I've never experienced anything like it, and hopefully I never will again. I don't want to play in that again, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun, to be honest. It was just insane. The rain, it was just steady the whole time. It never let up. And then they had the grass field, and it was freshly painted, so all that paint was wearing off and just made everything more slick, more just combined with the mud and the rain. It was just the ball was extremely slick. It was tough, but a lot of fun looking back. I mean, it was just a ground and pound game. I mean, it was fun. So yeah.
So you go from not being able to play to playing in this bowl game where you go over the 100-yard mark, and you don't have a fumble, which to me is like the most, surprising stat, I guess, just given the conditions. And then you were a big part of that victory for App State. So like, kind of, how was that journey? You go from not being able to play, I guess, what the first 7 games or so, and then you end the season on a super high note.
Yeah, it was rewarding as a team to get the seniors to go out the right way after losing the Sun Belt Championship, which was tough. And it was rewarding for myself as well, for sure. I mean, just not playing the beginning of the year and then being able to end it on a high note. Yeah, I'm just thankful it ended that way. I mean, it was fun, and I mean the biggest thing in that game was just holding on to the ball. That was it. I mean, and I tried to do that the best I could. I was more focused on that than really hitting the holes. So, but it worked out, and yeah, it was very rewarding. Glad it could end the season that way.
If you could pick 2 running backs to train with, learn from, watch film with, etc., who would you pick and why?
Yeah, I would go. Of course, I'm going to go with Christian McCaffrey. Is number one. Just the way that the way he approaches the game. I would love to know the way he approaches the game. Obviously, you see his skills, you see what he can do, but just the way that he sees it, just and how he approaches it, I would love to know that. And then probably Derrick Henry. They're 2 different types of running backs. Obviously, Derrick Henry's more ground and pound. I think the most impressive thing about Derrick Henry's career is his availability, just with as many touches as he gets and how he's stayed pretty healthy for the majority of his career, which is obviously hard to do at running back. So, yeah, just kind of seeing how they both see the game. Those, 2 kind of different styles of running backs. So it'd be cool. It'd be cool to sit down with those guys for sure.
Yeah. Derek's availability and being, relatively healthy is pretty amazing considering his running style and how physical he is, for sure.
Yeah, it's impressive for sure.
When you study film and watch other running backs, which things are you paying the most attention to?
Yeah, so I've watched a lot of different running back highlights over this past offseason, and I try to find guys that are similar to my size and weight. It's fun to watch all these highlights, but it wouldn't be as beneficial for me to watch a guy like Devon Achane for the Miami Dolphins because he can just run around everybody. I can't really relate to that. So I try to watch guys that are similar to my size and weight and just, see how they run. There's something you can take away from everybody. Some guys are a little more shifty. Some guys are a little more physical. So, yeah, that's what I like to watch is just guys that are similar to my size.
When you're studying film and watching the defenses, which things are you paying the most attention to?
Yeah. Well, the thing is with running back, a lot of it is so reactionary. You're relying a lot on your instincts. But even still, film is very important. I like to watch, just see how they tackle, see if a DB likes to tackle low, if he likes to go a little higher. That way you can kind of be ready when you see him. Okay, he's going to go low, try and pick your feet up a little more. And that's something that I'm going to try and take more serious this year is really digging into the film. But, yeah, a lot of it is just reactionary, which is what I like about running back. You can just kind of rely on your instincts. And so, but, yeah, I like to see the way guys tackle, just how physical they are. And that's what I like to watch, yeah.
Yeah, being a running back, you interact with all facets of the defense, right? The defensive line, linebackers, and the DBs. Mm-hmm. But is there a particular position on defense that maybe you pay more attention to than others, or is it kind of all the same?
Yeah, the D line is gonna slant wherever they're gonna slant. You have to trust the O line that they're gonna block them and do their job, which they've done a great job over our my career. I like to look at the linebackers probably the most, just, see how downhill they are if they sit back a little bit more. And then after that, just seeing how fast maybe the safeties come down, how physical they are. Do they tackle low? Do they tackle high? But yeah, probably the linebackers first, and then the DBs. Yeah.
What do you feel is your main strength as a running back?
I think I'd say my main strength is just that I'm hard to bring down. I think I'm gonna hopefully be falling forward, and that hopefully more than one person will need to bring me down. And I think that as the game wears on, I think that's when I can get better. I think the Cure Bowl was a good example of that. It was more the O-line than anything. Those guys, our O-line wore those boys down. But just as the game wears on, I think I should be able to wear down the defense. I think that's my biggest strength.
Is there an area of your game that you've worked on the most this offseason to try and improve? Or
Yeah, for sure. I'm always trying to improve just agility and speed. I feel confident in my strength and my physicality, but always want to try and get my quicker feet. Just work on more in the open field, being able to make a guy miss one-on-one in the open field whenever you're not running in between the tackles. And so I've worked on that. I think that's an aspect of my game that I have and just haven't shown a lot. So I'm excited to be able to do that this year.
what are your goals for 2024 and moving forward? They can be both team goals and personal goals.
Yeah, team goal is win the Sun Belt and make the college football playoff. I mean, that was our first day meeting back in January. I mean, that was set in stone. Like we're not afraid to talk about it. I mean, obviously it's the first year with the 12 team playoff. And I mean, there's no reason why we can't be the team that makes it. And I mean, obviously doing that, you got to win the Sun Belt. So yeah, those are the team goals, and everybody's not afraid to talk about that. Everybody knows that is the goal. For me personally, I mean, I have high expectations for myself. I don't have any numbers set in mind, but I want to go out and perform, do my best. Really, just a big part of it is just staying healthy, being available each game. And then I think if I can be available each game, then things will take care of itself.
Yeah, you guys are definitely one of my favorites to represent the G5 in that with that automatic berth. A lot of folks pick Liberty because they have an easy schedule, and I remind them, yeah, but they got to go to Boone and play App State, and I don't want to guarantee anything but yeah, it's going to be a tough game, and I think everyone that's not a Liberty fan is going to be rooting for App State in that game.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's one that will definitely be fun. It's a huge game for Group of 5 getting in that playoff. It's a hyped up game, so yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
What would you want to do post graduation, assuming that playing football was not an option? Do you have anything in mind, or?
Yeah, my major is business management, so it's a broad major, which is kind of why I chose it, because I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with it. It'd probably take me a little bit to figure it out, but I like being around people, trying to be able to help people. So if I could find a way to do that in the business world, that would be awesome. Or I've also thought about being a coach. You don't really need a business degree for that, but I love being around the game so much, the idea of being able to influence younger guys, younger people is a good idea for me. So, and I think I would really enjoy that too. So, yeah.
As we mentioned in the intro, David Ware named you as his breakout player on offense for 2024, but wanted to give you an opportunity to shout out some teammates. Who are some other players you think we should know about the Mountaineers before the 2024 season?
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. I would start with the O-line. I mean, we've we got some guys leave, but we got a lot of good pieces, and we've got depth. A lot of that will shake out in camp. There's no specific guys I can really name, but I think they're going to be a good group regardless. But as far as other specific guys, I mean, in the running back room, I mean, we've got a full room of guys that are capable of breaking out. I mean, we got, Kanye, Mikel, Armani, Jalen Calhoun, and then there's more. I mean, any one of those dudes can go out there and run all over you. I mean, it's fun to be a part of that room and just have those guys with you. We got a ton of receivers. I mean, there's too many to name, really. We've got talent everywhere. I mean, it could be a lot of different guys that could break out. I mean, and then defense that we got some new names, a lot of guys that are, some have transferred in, some have been there and are ready to take on a bigger role. So there's a lot of talent everywhere. It's hard to name like certain guys that are going to be breaking out because I think there's just so many options for it. So, yeah.
Absolutely. If someone has not seen you play, what one game would you recommend someone to watch? And it can be a high school game or a college game.
Yeah, I don't know if there's one certain college game yet. I mean, the Cure Bowl would be a pretty good one, but those conditions were so tough. Like I said, I was just focused on holding on to the football. But I don't know if I've had enough opportunity for there to be like one game. So I'd probably just say one in high school. Probably be like my conference championship my senior year. I don't know. Everybody's got good high school highlights, so that'd probably be one for me.
If you could replay one game, which game would it be and why? And again, it can be a game from high school or a college game.
I would say there's two that come to mind thus far. Would be one, just the Troy game from 2 years ago, whenever we had it was college game day there. I had my first receiving touchdown that game. We won on the Hail Mary. That was just an unreal experience. That whole game that day, being a college game. I mean, it was insane. And then probably Texas A&M would be the other one, which was the same year, the game before. I mean, I didn't even play a lot in that game, but just beating A&M, being in that stadium, like that's something you never forget for sure.
Yeah, you guys played two great games, both exciting games and great wins as well.
Yeah, no doubt.
What opposing defensive player has been the toughest for you to go against, and why?
Throughout my career, I would say it'd be a guy from App just competing in practice, probably DeMarco Jackson. He was there my freshman and sophomore year, and I just remember spring football. We had some running backs down, and I was getting a bunch of reps and going against him every single day, and it was like he was the real deal. He was all over the place. Definitely made me better. I hope I can say I made him better. I don't know, but I would say DeMarco was probably definitely top three, probably the best defensive player I've went against.
So, you recently just went on a mission to Peru. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I went on a mission trip, and it was with my church. It was with a group that is based down there called Rooted in Grace and Love, and they gave us the opportunity to go down as a church. And our goal going down there was to serve these kids, tell them the good news about Jesus, and that's what we went down there and did. We ran a camp for them, and with that, our goal was to provide them joy as well. And I think going down there, after it's all been said and done, I think with as much joy as those kids had, I think myself and the rest of the group had just as much fun, if not more fun, than those kids. It was a great experience, a lot of fun, lives that were changed, and Peru's beautiful on top of all that. I mean, those mountains are crazy. I mean, so they're huge. So it's it was a lot of fun. Definitely a 10 out of 10.
So, I mentioned to you last night when I was searching for graphics for the show today, I came across some pretty big news in your personal life. You ready to share that news with the world?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm an engaged man, so a newly engaged man. So yeah, that's the big news. I'll be playing this year um, as an engaged man. So yeah, that's an exciting time.
Well, congratulations, man.
Yes,
That's
sir.
awesome.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Is there a particular routine that you have on game days or a song artist that you like to listen to before games?
There's no really particular artist, but I like to before games, like leading up to it, not too close to game time. I like to listen to more chill music, maybe some gospel music, just kind of keep the vibe a little lower, a little calmer. And then, maybe when it gets closer to game time is when I can kind of amp it up a little bit, play maybe some rock or some sort of rap. That's kind of what I like to do. I don't like to play that stuff too early to get me all excited too
Yeah.
soon, but yeah, I like to do that and just take care of my body, stretch a whole lot, just relax. That's really it. So yeah.
Do you have a favorite gospel artist?
Oh man, uh, I don't know if I have a favorite one. I mean, there's a lot of groups: Elevation Worship, Hillsong, Maverick City. All those are good. Caleb Gordon is a Christian rapper that I like. He's kind of more mellow. Like I said, I don't have really specific artists. There's just songs that I pick and choose
Sure.
from. So yeah, they're all good.
Yeah, I really like Need to Breathe. I listen to them a
Oh
lot.
yeah, yeah, they're on the playlist for sure. Yeah,
What hobbies do you have outside of football? What do you like to do when you're not playing football?
yeah. I like to golf a lot, or try to at least. We've got a good group of guys on the team that golf. So in our free time, we'll try and go out and hit it around a little bit. I just like to be outdoors, whether that's fish or go to the river. I like to hike a little bit whenever I'm not too tired from football. But yeah, just anything like that. Just enjoying hanging out with friends for sure.
All right. So what's harder, hitting a golf ball straight or rushing for 100 yards in that deluge at the Cure Bowl?
Oh man, probably hitting a golf ball straight. Yeah, probably hitting a golf ball straight. They're close in those particular conditions down at Cure Bowl. It's pretty close, but uh, I probably got a better chance of rushing for 100 in a bowl game better than I do hitting a golf ball straight every time. So that's what I'd say.
Uh, are you playing the new EA Sports college football game?
Oh yeah, I've played it. Of course, I've been gone for a little bit in Peru, and I actually had to get a PS5. I had to buy one with the money that they gave us. That's what it went towards. And then, so yeah, the past couple of days when I've been back, I've been playing it a good bit.
I assume you're playing as App State.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What have you liked the most about the game?
I mean, the fact that I'm in it, the fact that it's very detailed. I mean, it's insane to just be playing. It gets me kind of pumped up to play. Just and see Kid Brewer. I mean, it's just the details of it. They did a really great job. It's a lot of fun to play.
Yeah, App State seemed to be one of the featured programs and all the promotional videos and such leading up to it. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think wasn't Caden on like one of the first highlights?
Yeah, he was returning the kick. So yeah, he was excited about that for sure.
Um, if you could change one thing about the game, what would that be?
uh, um, I don't know if I've played it enough to get into that big a detail, but maybe just my rating. I'd bump it up. That'd be what I'd change. make me a little better. That'd be it.
That leads right to the next question. Do you think they did you justice? And if you could change your rating, kind of what skills would you up a little bit?
Yeah, I was expecting. I wasn't expecting a great rating. Just being a group of five team. I mean, I knew that's kind of how they were going to do it. I was going to be happy. I said going into it, if I'm above a 70, I'll be happy. And so I'm above a 70. So I can't be mad about it. I really thought they were going to make my speed worse, to be honest. It's an 86. So I was actually kind of pleasantly surprised by that. I'm not too mad about it. Hopefully they do updates during the year. That way maybe we can, upgrade a little bit. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, I think I heard maybe yesterday or the day before where they are going to do that in season, which will be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
What's your favorite offensive play call in the game?
So far, I just like running halfback stretch. Just running out. It's similar to what we run, just the outside zone. But it's fun. It's cool to be able to run it in the game and kind of compare it to your reads in real life. But yeah, it gives you a lot of space in the game. So that's probably my favorite play. Of course, as a running back, it's a run play. So that or a slip screen. That's it.
Do you plan to play as yourself in the Road to Glory mode?
Yeah, for sure. I haven't started that yet, but that's the next thing, no doubt.
Are you going to make yourself a running back or a quarterback or?
Yeah, I feel like I've got to go running back, but a part of me does want to just do quarterback just for fun. But so I still got to decide that, I guess.
What's your favorite meal? What's your favorite thing to eat?
Oh yeah, I'd say buffalo chicken wings or some sort of pasta. I love spaghetti, lasagna. Those would probably be my top two right there. I would.
What's your favorite sauce on wings? Is the traditional like buffalo style?
Yeah, just a hot buffalo, not too hot, but a good, spicy buffalo. That'll do it for sure.
Ranch or blue cheese?
Ranch, no doubt. No doubt.
If you could sit down and have a conversation with any three people of your choosing, they can be dead or alive, who would you choose and why?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'd say number one, yeah, it may be cliche, but I mean, it's can't go wrong. You got to say Jesus. I mean, wouldn't get any better than that. I'd say number two, I don't know. I'd want to talk to like some, old like war general, but like I don't even know. Maybe like some king back in the day, like Julius Caesar. Just see how things were. That's completely random, but I don't know. And then maybe like a Michael Jackson. I don't know. He was an icon, so maybe something like that for sure.
You had to tell an aspiring high school player what the hardest part of playing college football is. What would it be and why?
I'd say just time, and that the time commitment. It kind of affects everything in your life, whether it's school or your free time. You've got to be able to handle that and to make sure that it doesn't become and feel like a real job. I mean, in a way, it does become your job, but it should still be fun. And so, you don't want to get into the cycle of kind of making it a job that you have to go to. Like you get to go to it. A lot of people would love to be in the position that you're at. And so you just got to remember that. Don't take it for granted and just have fun with it. Enjoy each moment. I mean, especially leading into camp, this is a good thing for me to remember right now is just to enjoy each day, have fun in the moment, because if you think too far ahead and you realize you've got, a full month left, it can kind of get in your head a little bit, but you just got to have fun, enjoy the moment. And yeah, just learn how to value your time. That would be what I would say.
All right, let's get you out on a fun question here. Coach Clark comes in and says, "No need for pads today, boys. Grab your running shoes. We are doing laps." What position group does your mind immediately go to that caused it?
It's not the running backs. We're a good group. There's two, probably the DBs. Probably the defensive back. Got a bunch of crash dummies over on that side, which is great. But yeah, I mean, all the groups on our team are a group of solid dudes. But if I had to pick one, it'd be the DBs for sure.
That is by far the most popular answer when we ask.
Yeah, as
and
it should be.
We even interviewed 2 safeties, and they both said the DBs too. So that just kind of, to me, that just validates it.
Yeah, it makes sense, no doubt.
Well, Anderson, thank you again for taking some time out of your day to spend with us. We greatly appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me on.
If you're watching on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. And if you're listening in podcast form, please rate and review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Thank you all for your support. And until the next time, we are the G5 Hive.